UFC 328 is done and dusted. It's over with. And you know what that means? We're back at the Apex. Oh, so hyped. I love being at the Apex. Doesn't everyone love the Apex? Keeping us company, we've got Arnold Allen and Melquizael Costa headline on the card. That's good. We like that. That's actually a good matchup. But we're not starting there. We're starting right down here, the bottom of the pile, with Shauna Bannon and Nicole Cagliari. Don't really rate either of them very highly, to be honest with you. In my personal opinion, Shauna Bannon's probably going to take this win. In my opinion, I am a little bit biased though, so pinch of salt. My reasoning is, sure, not finishing Bruna Brazil isn't the best of looks, but then, she beats Elise Ardeline, split decision, close fight. Pooja Tomar, women's fighter, Indian fighter. Obviously not the cream of the crop. India very new to MMA, so yeah, nothing to write home about there. Fighting someone so fresh, so fresh, such a new sport to them. But yeah, and then getting beat by Sam Hughes 8 months ago. So this puts doubt in my mind with picking Shauna Bannon. It seems like Tapology agrees with me that Shauna's going to win by a decision. Cagliari not really done anything since getting in to the UFC aside from being chinned. Well, ground and pounded. But still, not really done much in the UFC. And I feel like, this is a fight that Shauna Bannon's very easily going to win. I don't think that Cagliari is going to offer much resistance. I mean, Shauna Bannon's a pretty decent striker at range, and she has all of the range advantages for this fight. So I could see it really going in her favour. I don't think, and decent takedown defence as well for the women's divisions. So, I don't really see many avenues of success for Cagliari. But this is only the first fight, so we're not going to spend too much time on it, because who cares anyway. We're going to go with Shauna Bannon, probably by a decision. Next up, we've got Daniel Barez versus Luis Garul. Luis Garul is terrible. I don't think he's won a fight in the UFC. Should we check? Should we see if Luis Garul's even won a fight in the UFC? I feel like we've signed them. No, he hasn't got a win in the UFC. So yeah, we've signed. It's a split decision as well on the contenders. That's how we got in here. Right, okay. Wow. But yeah, so, fights Ode Osborne, loses. Fights Jesus. Who can blame him? Losing to Jesus. It's Jesus of all people. But yeah, loses to Aguilar. As anyone would, it's Jesus after all. But yeah, not really done well since getting into the UFC. And honestly, the competition has Ode Osborne's a tough test to come into at the start of your career. And they have kind of managed the level of competition for him a little bit. And he's not really... They're giving him fights that he's got possibilities to win, and he's just not performing inside of the UFC like he was outside of it. So yeah, we're probably going to side with Barez. Let me see. I'm not too familiar with Barez. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a near even. It's a pick'em, essentially, according to Tapology. Everyone else seems to be going with Barez. I was feeling Barez. I just know Garul's terrible. I don't know too much. I don't need to know anything about Barez. I mean, to be fair, he could be even more awful, but Luis Garul's done pretty terrible since getting to the UFC, so I'm confident in picking against him. So I'm going to go with Barez by decision, probably. Next one is Elise Ardeline versus Polyana Viana. I'm going to go with Ardeline for this one. Honestly, I just think she's better everywhere. We'll take a quick little look at the matchup. I don't want to spend too much on this one. But yeah, Polyana Viana, not really doing well in the UFC. Not really doing well at all. And sure, we've got some hiccups along the way, but, a loss to Shauna Bannon. Split decision. Could have gone either way, to be fair. But, another decision loss to Melissa Martinez. Fair enough again. For the women's divisions, these two are pretty decent contenders. I know I can't shit on Shauna Bannon before when I was doing her part. This is because, it's still women's MMA. So when I'm saying the good, manage your expectations here. Manage your expectations. But, not I don't know how to describe it. They're not the worst of the worst. Not the worst in the women's divisions that she's come up against. And not that she's lost against as well. So I do kind of lean towards Elise Ardeline, whereas Polyana Viana just seems to be, getting rolled by everybody and finished by everybody. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do see Elise Ardeline get the finish over Polyana Viana. But I think to play it safe, we're going to go with Elise Ardeline by decision. On to the next one. We've got Andre Petroski versus Cody Brundage. We're going to go with Andre Petroski. I think both guys coming off losses, actually. Yeah, both guys coming off skids. But no, we're going to go with Andre Petroski. Cody Brundage just more and more seems like a punching bag. Every time he goes out there, he just looks more and more like a punching bag, which is a shame. Such high hopes for Cody Brundage was once upon a time. But now every time he goes out there, he just seems to get beaten up. And, he's tough. He's a tough guy. But, if one of the... If you're a fighter and one of the first critiques, like one of the first compliments that comes to mind about your game, your fight style, is that you're tough, you're probably doing something wrong, because you shouldn't really have to... The best fighters are the ones that don't have to prove they're tough for a while, until they're champion, But Cody Brundage is tough, and he's hard to put away. But I do think Petroski might even be able to do it, to be fair to you. No, Brundage is pretty tough. He got chinned by Cam Roston, to be fair. Yeah, it's not even like he's getting knocked out. He's getting finished on the ground. Yeah, I mean, maybe. So the thing is, Petroski isn't really the guy to finish a fight. He's very much a decision merchant. I'm leaning towards Petroski. I want to go Petroski by decision over Cody Brundage. I do think Brundage has just turned into a punching bag. I hope he turns it around, honestly, I do. I hope he turns it around. But for now, we're going to go with Andre Petroski. On to the next one. We've got Ketlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I lean towards Cavalcanti, not going to lie. Absolutely on a tear right now. Not all the most amazing of fights, to be fair, but still consistent and riding a lot of momentum right now, especially in the women's divisions, for the women's divisions, riding a lot of momentum, whereas, Ketlin Vieira a bit stop and starty, maybe a slightly better quality of opponent than Jacqueline Cavalcanti so far, but not too bad of a disparity. Not too much of a disparity. The height is the same, slight reach advantage to Cavalcanti. Yeah, I feel like I'm going with Cavalcanti, to be honest with you. Riding that momentum is big in the fight sports. Riding that momentum is really good. So yeah, we're going to go with Cavalcanti to get the win over Ketlin Vieira, but I do think it's probably going to go to a decision. This is a women's bantamweight fight after all. Next up, we've got Tommy Gant versus Arthur Miniev. I don't know too much about Arthur Miniev, I'm going to be honest, but I have seen Tommy Gant on Contender Series. I do believe this is both of their first fights inside of the UFC. Yes, it is if you don't include the Contender Series fight. I don't. It's not proper UFC. It's like to get in there. But yeah, so not a lot of information available on Miniev, to be fair, which kind of makes me think, all right, wait, let me see. Gilly, TKO, decision, TKO. Damn, both guys are like finishing machines, to be fair. I lean towards Gant because 11-0 is obviously higher, more experienced than the 7-0, but we're not really. It's a tough one. And obviously with them being outside of the UFC, the competitors probably aren't as high a caliber, so it makes it a bit more difficult. Tapology has Gant winning this one, but to be honest with you, the fact that I don't know anything about Miniev and he's been put into this fight with Gant, who is provably good. We've got no idea what his reach is, what Miniev's reach is, but we know he's shorter than Gant, so he's probably got around the same, if not shorter arms. So Gant probably has the physical advantages. I don't know. I'm just looking at the dude and I'm thinking this guy knows something that I don't, And even though most people aren't picking him, I feel like that's just because he's a bit of an unknown. But I feel like coming in as an unknown can be really beneficial sometimes. I suppose Gant has got information to train from, and I suppose he will go searching for it. But at the same time, it's like it can skew the odds, It could just be a bunch of people who've seen Gant on Contenders, and like I have, and then not seen anything of Miniev. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Simply because I worry I pick Gant because he's more tested, if you will. And then Miniev just comes in and chins him, just sparks him on cold, and everyone was like, oh, who is this guy? And he's another one of these Eastern European guys that just snuck in under the radar and chins somebody out cold. Who was the other guy? I can't even remember what the guy's name was. And he just came in, short notice. Bah! Star! But yeah, so that's why I hesitate. It's a tough one. I am going to have to go with Gant. I have information on Gant, so I'm going with Gant. I've seen him fight on Contenders, so I'm going to go with what I know. The devil you know is always better, they say. So we're going to go with Tommy Gant over Arthur. Minev. Miniv? I don't know. Miniv? Could be anything. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Oh yeah, knockout. I reckon it's going to be a standing banger for Tommy Gant. So yeah, Tommy Gant by knockout over Artur Minev. Next up is Tuco Tokos versus Evan Arslan. Couldn't get his name out there. Evan Arslan. We're going to go with Tuco Tokos, not just because we're biased, but, you know, Arslan's also a guy who's turning into a little bit of a punching bag, a bit like a Cody Brundage, where he just seems to be going out there to get beaten up. I think it's the same vibe right now with Tuco Tokos. You know, 2 losses in the UFC. You know, but Omar Sy, pretty good, to be honest with you. Omar Sy, pretty good. And then Navajo Sterling, also pretty good, if we're being honest. So, yeah, bit of a tough one. Yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Then he beats Junior Taffa, and everyone's like, hey, this Tuco Tokos may be alright. So, you know what? He's been given an easier fight in Ivan Yaroslav, I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a layup. At this point, Yaroslav has become a bit of a punching bag. So we're going to go with Tuco Tokos. I'm not saying he's being fed an easy fight, but I do think it's a very winnable fight. Ivan has been shown, has been very hittable in his last few fights, and that's really cost him. So, yeah. Tuco Tokos, I'm going to go with TKO. On to the next one. Well, KO, TKO. But on to the next one, we've got Nikolai Veretennikov versus Chaos Williams. Tough one for me to pick. I like Nikolai Veretennikov, but I think I like him because he's a guy who's there to get chinned. And then sometimes he does some cool shit. Like, you know, beating Nico Price. Whereas Chaos Williams, very one-dimensional. But, you know, being one-dimensional isn't the worst thing in the world when you're going against a guy like Veretennikov, who is also quite one-dimensional. So it's going to be an interesting one. It will be an interesting one. I lean towards Chaos Williams, but to be honest with you, I think, I mean, yeah, see, everyone thinks Williams by KO, TKO, but I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking Veretennikov might catch him, to be honest with you. Just at the clash of styles, do I go crazy and go with the underdog? What is it, near even? Yeah, go on, you know what? We'll take a chance and we'll go with Nikolai Veretennikov. I don't think I've ever picked Veretennikov for anything before. I don't think Veretennikov's ever been picked for anything before. But yeah, we're going to go with Veretennikov over Chaos Williams. I've just got a weird feeling about this one. I feel like he's going to catch Williams. I think like he's probably going to get caught first. But I don't think it's going to be enough from Williams. And then Williams is going to be like, oh wow, I hit that guy with a really, really good shot and he's still coming at me. And then he's going to get caught because he's too busy thinking about it. On to the next one. Nikolai Veretennikov by TKO. On to the next one. We've got Timmy Chiwumba versus Bernardo Sopage. I've shit on Timmy Chiwumba quite a bit on this channel, and I was right. You know, I knew he wasn't going to I knew he wasn't going to beat Balaji. I knew he wasn't going to beat Lucas Almeida. I did pick Roberto Romero to beat him, and I did pick Chang Ho Lee to beat Timmy Chiwumba. So I have been a little bit harsh on Timmy Chiwumba, but I was just so appalled by both of these fights, which in hindsight probably weren't that bad because Balaji is pretty good. So I think I was just being a bit harsh at the time, and now I've got to kind of reevaluate my opinion of Timmy Chiwumba. Maybe it's the name. I just hear the name Timmy Chiwumba, and I'm like, oh, what a name, Chiwumba. But either way, name aside, I'm not a massive fan of the name Bernardo Sopage either. So they kind of cancel each other out in annoying names. So now we can just kind of focus on the actual fights. So Sopage is at a fairly decent height and reach disadvantage if these stats are to be believed. He's slightly younger. Timmy Chiwumba is the underdog. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to go with Sopage. We're going to go with Sopage once again. We're not picking Timmy Chiwumba. Maybe he'll prove us wrong again. But no, I don't think he's going to do it. I'm going to go with the smaller guy as well. See, everyone. Why does everyone agree? Everyone agrees. Everyone knows Timmy Chiwumba ain't all that. Anyway, yeah, Sopage by a decision. I'll copy Tapology. Why not? We'll go Sopage by a decision. Thank you, Tapology, for bailing me out of making a difficult decision. On to the next one. We've got Modestas Bukauskas versus Christian Edwards. I'm leaning towards Modestas Bukauskas. Just going to be more well-rounded. More well-rounded. If he doesn't do well in a certain position, he can just move to a different position. And bearing in mind, a little bit of an insult getting Christian Edwards on his debut for Modestas Bukauskas. Sure, he got fucking chinned by Krylov, but still, like, he was on a decent little tear. I suppose, knocking out Paul Craig isn't that impressive. But, Ion Cutelaba is an alright win. Alright win, But yeah, it's just interesting to see that he's getting this guy on a debut. But yeah, we are leaning towards Modestas Bukauskas, of course. Way more information on him. It's just the more educated pick, unfortunately, for Christian Edwards. But maybe there'll be some side action you can play with, because he's so unknown. Just be like that at the Apex, guys. Sometimes you just get an absolute fucking new guy. Just an absolute... Where'd they find this guy? Just fucking some cab driver. Anyway, we'll go with Modestas Bukauskas. We do agree with Tapology again. We are going to go with Modestas by TKO. On to the next one. We've got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. I want to pick Malcolm Wellmaker. I want him. I think I'm going to pick Malcolm Wellmaker. I'm fairly sure he lost his last fight. And I picked him in that as well. Yeah, I did. So I oh my god, was Airwing the guy that I was... I think Airwing's the guy. Wait, hold up. How do I... Yeah, I've got to go on his page. Well, how Tapology worked. I got so excited. Airwing, that's his name. This guy came out of nowhere. Wasn't it? Yeah, this guy came out of nowhere. Beat Wellmaker. And then got a nice finish as well after that. So yeah, sometimes a guy just comes out of nowhere and he's really, really, really good. It's a scenario where, again, I knew more about Malcolm Wellmaker. I picked Wellmaker because I knew more about him. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Juan Diaz, I'm fairly sure I actually won money on Juan Diaz's his Contender Series fight. So I feel like maybe I should pick him because he's won me money and it's a sign. No. Yeah, Tapology agrees with me this time. I said it first, Tapology. Ignore those 971 people that said it first. I said it first. Yeah, he's got the physical advantages. Sure, he's a little bit older, but with that comes experience. And to be honest with you, I do feel like he's going to be too fast. Malcolm Wellmaker is incredibly quick. And I don't think Juan Diaz is going to come out and give the same kind of performance where he just goes toe-to-toe and just tires out Malcolm Wellmaker by giving him too much to think about. I don't think Juan Diaz is the kind of fighter to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go with Malcolm Wellmaker. Hopefully he doesn't lose this one. If he loses this one, then we've really got to readjust how we think about Malcolm Wellmaker in the UFC. But yeah. Is it a guy making his debut again? This is. I mean, it is the Apex. Yeah, it is. I knew it was. I've seen him on Contenders. What the fuck am I talking about? But yeah. So another guy who's there's less information about him. How is he going to compete in the UFC? I am going with Malcolm Wellmaker. I don't think it can happen to him twice. I think this time, he's going to be like, okay, I need to actually do a bit of study here and figure out how this guy's going to come for me. I think last time he just kind of thought, oh, they just give me somebody on short notice. I'll take the fight. Whatever. I train for a different guy. It's fine. I'm already in the UFC. This guy's making his debut. Kind of that vibe. So hopefully takes it a bit more serious this time. Co-main event time. We've got Du Ho Choi versus Daniel Santos. I feel like I'm going to pick Du Ho Choi, and I know he's an underdog. It's in near evens. Okay, yeah, so he is the underdog. Okay. Tough one, I'll be honest with you. I lean towards Du Ho Choi only for the fact that I'm biased and I love the I love the Asian fighters. Yeah, I mean, he is on a two fight win streak. It's a tough one. No, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Du Ho Choi. I think he's gonna get it done. I think it's gonna be, they're gonna trade on the feet, and I think Du Ho Choi is gonna get it done. Doo Ho Choi's got hands, man. You know, people forget, man. Doo Ho Choi, he's got some pretty decent boxing, man. But yeah, I think Doo Ho Choi can get it done. I think he's tough. Yeah, I think he's tough enough. I think he's got the right stuff. And you know what? I'll pick him. If he's going to be an underdog, I'll take Doo Ho Choi as an underdog, to be fair. I will. How old is Doo Ho Choi now, actually? He's 35. Yeah, you know what? I'm rocking with Doo Ho Choi. I am. I'm going to rock with Doo Ho Choi, the 35-year-old featherweight. But, you know, Asian don't raisin, so it's fine. And finally, main event time. The main one, the big one. Arnold Allen versus Melquizael Costa. I'm a big fan of Melquizael Costa, and I do quite like Arnold Allen as well. Sure, you know, I mean, just look at the career of Arnold Allen real quickly. Let me just take a look at the UFC prowess, okay, of Arnold Allen really quickly. It's very long, very spanning. There we go. Let's ignore the Cage Warriors really quick. Decent, absolute fucking tear. Look at all those greens. Then he fights Max Holloway. It's Max Holloway. Who, okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Shit happens. You bump into Max Holloway on your way up. Can't win them all. Like, Dan Hooker. Beat Dan Hooker. Beat Sadiq Youssef. Sure, he beat Calvin Kattar, but Calvin Kattar, I think, was already on a decline. To be honest with you, at this point, it was the start of the decline for Calvin Kattar. But yeah, Max Holloway, sure, reasonable loss. Movsar Evloev, reasonable loss, to be fair. Beats Giga Chikidze, which is an alright win, to be fair. And then he fights Gene Silva. The two have a decent scrap, and he loses a decision. Gene Silva did win the fight. I am biased, but I can admit that. But, you know, it's not like he got finished. You know, he got stung a couple of times. And Gene Silva's a tough fight. So, yeah. Yeah, it was a battle of the tism. It was a battle of the autism. But now we've got to watch autism fight, what's it called? Vitiligo? Yeah, we've got to watch autism fight Vitiligo, and I'll be honest with you, I quite like Melquizael Costa. It's so tough, man. That win over Morgan Charrier, man. I picked Melquizael Costa by knockouts over Morgan Charrier. I was like, Morgan Charrier's good, and he moves around a lot, but his hands are low, and he got kicked in the head, and I was right. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's... No, you know what? I do know. I'm going with Arnold Allen. I'm going to go with Arnold Allen. He's gonna break the streak. He's gonna break the streak of Melquizael Costa. Oh, he's the favourite as well. That's fine then. Yeah, Allen's good, man. Allen's good. Allen is good. And you know what? You know what as well? The thing is, Melquizael Costa is finishing everybody. But so was Gene Silva, and they went to a decision, and I know it's a unanimous decision. Gene Silva won, but there were times where Allen was pulling ahead, and I think he'll have an easier time doing that with Melquizael Costa. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen. I think it probably goes to a decision, but I think if it goes to a decision, that's in Arnold Allen's favour anyway. So I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen by decision over Melquizael Costa. I think he gets it done. I do. Melquizael hits hard, and he's got good. You know, he's got good hands and good kicks. But the thing is Arnold Allen's just kind of like, he's got that autism. He'll see them coming. You know, he lost to Gene Silva, who was also on the spectrum. You know, and he's maybe just a bit further up. Gene Silva's just a bit further up than Arnold Allen. You know, maybe that's the case. Probably is the case based on what happened in the fight, to be fair. But either way, Melquizael Costa, he's on a tear. So is Gene Silva. I reckon it goes to a decision, and Arnold Allen is able to adjust this time, and he's able to get the win over Melquizael Costa, which would catapult him into the top 10 as well. Let's go for him. Let's go for Arnold Allen. So yeah, we're going to go with Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen? Doesn't sound like a name anymore. I've said it too many times. We're going with Allen. Yeah, we're going to go with Allen by a decision over Melquizael Costa. And I think that does finish this prediction video. But before I love you and leave you, ladies and gentlemen, allow me please to take a step back. Probably going to predict this as well. Not right now, but I'm going to probably predict this as well, just for the fun of it. It's actually an interestingly built card. Interesting built card, because anyway, we'll leave that for its own video. Until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around.